Audio dramas formative. The Lawrence Pendlebury Audio Adventures by Brian Hughes. Episode 4, the inevitable mid-season filler. The story so far. Lawrence and Polly have, once again, buggered up the fabric of time, released the Krampus on an unsuspecting world, and are now in search of God to help them put all the stuff back the way they originally found it. Their journey, however, is taking longer and proving far more mentally exhausting than anticipated.
I've just read Richard Dawkins' God Delusion, Polly, me old bucket of slime mould. It should come in handy. The pages are cheaply manufactured and extremely absorbent, which is perhaps as well because we ran out of bog roll just past Metabelis 4. Unfortunately, now I'm bored. What's on the goggle box?
I see. It's going to be that sort of episode, is it? One of those tangential compilations of half-finished ideas that you couldn't find use for anywhere else. Let's hope it's better than Space Coppers.
A poke in the eye with Jimmy Cranky's strap-on is better than Space Coppers.
Tonight, on Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon gets more than he bargained for when he tackles the Baked Bean Cafe in Bolton, where owner and head chef Arthur Hodges suffers from anger management problems.
Well, this is the place. What a dump. The colour scheme smacks of Nick Council paint, and that's a bad sign. Use condoms on the doorstep. Let's hope the inside's an improvement. God, what's that fucking smell?
What do you want? I ain't got all day.
Fucking menu would be good for starters.
We ain't got menus, you southern pup. We've got chips.
Is that it?
I'm sure the cook could rustle up a steak tart on a barn cake if you like, with extra fat French fries.
Well, if that's all you fecking got, I'd better take it. We're not off to a good start. Look at the state of this tomato sauce bottle. How fucking gunked up is that?
One burger and chips. That's £2.50, and the cook says this is a family restaurant, and if you keep saying fuck all the time, he's going to come out here and twat you.
For fuck's sakes, that's disgusting. It's solid lard. I need a drink to get rid of the taste. Shitting bollocks, that tastes like fucking battery acid.
That's because the cook saw you come in and took a piss in
Get
it.
him out here, now. I've never been so insulted in all my fucking life.
You got a problem, mate?
You're damn right I've got a problem. Your cafe stinks like a public toilet. It's unhygienic, the food isn't cooked, the coffee is served by the slice, and the mug has got dick smears on it. And your wife is fucking
In
ugly.
that case, you might prefer the food they serve in the hospital, you insufferable turd.
How do you stretch a 1.5 inch mouse to 6 feet in length?
It can't be done, Jack. It's much too small and
You
inflexible.
calling me a liar, son?
No, it's just
Call me a liar again and I'll come over there and stick your head up your arrogant arse, you know-it-all little prick. Anyhow, it can be done, but I'm going to need your assistance to prove it. You look after me pipe hunt.
Yes, you are, Jack.
It's Mr. Hargreaves to you, you fat bitch. And don't let that pipe go out, or I'll put you over me knee and thrash you with me belt until your tits drop off. Now, Fred, you grab hold of Mouse's tail, I'll grab its head, and boom!
Well, he's certainly stretching, Jack. We're at about 6 inches already.
If you reckon that's 6 inches, Mrs. Dinage must have been very disappointed on her wedding night. We're at about 4 to be more accurate, and the mouse is suffering terrible. Now put your back into it and give it some welling. Now then, see all this rubbery tubing? That's what's known as intestines, is that? And if we unravel it and lay it out along the floor in a straight line, what have we got?
6 foot of offal?
And that's how. Next week, we'll be demonstrating how to reduce John Miller's height by approximately, where's my tape measure? 18 inches from top of his head to his jaw using this chainsaw.
Tonight we're at Lancaster Castle. In part, this ancient pile of stones has been standing since Roman times, but the impending fortress is probably most famous or rather infamous for the Pendlebury witch trials in the 17th century. Derek, are you feeling alright?
I'm sensing the presence of a foul old
Don't
hag.
go off on one yet, Akora. I haven't finished the introduction.
What's that, Sam? A foul old media whoring bag. You can say that again.
It was in this dungeon in 1612 that simple-minded Alice Nutter and the fearsome Alison Device...
Hold on, I've got something coming through. Oh, it's a bad one. Horrible and evil it is.
Who disturbs the slumber of old Mother Dinah?
Now that's impressive, Derek. How are you doing the echo?
Shut up, you scaly, riddled old sow. I've taken possession of this 1980s scouse puff. From now on, his feeble body will bend to my every whim. Watch.
Bet you can't slam his head in the hinges of the dungeon door.
Of course I can.
But not even you have the strength to throw him out of the window.
You disbelieve my powers, you passion-laced slag.
Brilliant! That's the first time we've ever captured something genuine on film, and not just us throwing pebbles about and stuff.
Oh, right. So I'm supposed to be filming that?
There now follows a party political broadcast on behalf of the Society for the Prevention of Unwanted Migrants from Europe, or SPUME for short.
Right, as you're probably aware, we at SPUME have been waging a tireless campaign over the last few months to convince the illiterate, fall for any old crap so long as a figure of authority tells them to, hard-working scum of Britain, that the endless stinking tide of Polacks, surrender monkeys, wops, krauts, froggies and Jews, sliming their effluent way up our once proud British shores, must stop. In recent times, David Cameron has been in discussion with those traitorous loony-lefty bastards in Brussels on our behalf, in a desperate attempt to eradicate benefits for those evil incoming Muslim migrants. Of course, this means that the equal number of British migrants seeking work abroad every year also won't be entitled to benefits when they get there, resulting in a stagnation of job skills into Britain such as much-needed doctors and an excess of hod carriers, builders and plumbers having to remain in our already saturated blue-collar market. But this, we believe, is a small price to pay in order for David Cameron to dismantle the British welfare state without any repercussions, which is exactly what the sensible bigots of Britain want. However, we in the Murdoch press don't believe this goes far enough. We're urging the viewers to vote out in the up-and-coming European Union referendum. A vote to remove us is a vote to give David Cameron omnipotent power. It will allow him to opt out of the International Agreement on Human Rights, suppress free speech, ban union strikes, and indulge in internationally condemned torture techniques without having to put up with all that European courts nonsense. Leaving the EU will allow him and his colleagues to exercise complete control, manipulation, and oppression over the working masses for their own good, and that's what we at the BBC want as well. After all, it's good to be isolated and to be able to get away with whatever we want without those interfering do-gooders from Europe sticking their garlic-infested noses in. Ask Kim Jong-un.
Welcome back to this year's BAFTAs, my cheeky-bottomed little humble bunnies. And so we reached that part of the show where the British Film and Television Awards reflect on all the fabulous, well-paid, generally knighted and much-loved entertainers who have been so sadly taken away from us over the last 12 months.
Stuart Hall, sports commentator. Gary Glitter, pop star. Jonathan King, stroke victim. Fred Talbot, weatherman. Rolf Harris, Australian. Cliff Rick.
How's the television? Anything decent on?
I'll give you 3 guesses. It might be more entertaining if the impressions sounded remotely like the celebrities are supposed to be, but probably not. I'll try the CBeebies channel on the off chance that's an improvement.
Boris and Ken Clark, Boris and Ken. Horrible men, farts, horrible men.
This is a coffin shed behind the Tory party headquarters, where Boris Johnson and Ken Clark live with little George Osborne Pansy. Weed. Yes, we can see you, Weed George, all over the poorly paid. Look, here comes Slow Coach, the mentally disabled boy. What are Boris and Ken going to do now? Oh, oh no, they've torn Slow Coach's shell off and thrown his naked body onto the street, and now they're jumping up and down on his head, whilst George Osborne Pansy watches on and masturbates.
Once upon a time, not so long ago, there was a little boy called Walden, and Walden ran a shop. But this was no ordinary shop, because everything he sold was either broken or of no further use to anybody. The shop was called Argos, and the way it worked was this. People would bring their stuff back in because it didn't work and never had, and then the item was put into the back room with all the mice before the next person unwittingly bought it. And so the cycle went round and round, until eventually somebody bought the broken object, but died before it could be returned. It really was a dreadful shop, but for reasons best left to the plebs, everybody loved it.
Join of football at a very exciting moment as it's being kicked up the field towards the goalpost. Wait, somebody's taken it off the first bloke and is now kicking it down the field again in the opposite direction. This is incredible. Fucking hell, now he's kicked it to his mate and his mate has kicked it back to him. Oh my god, I've orgasmed and ruined my boxers. Unbelievable stuff. There's a whistle and both teams leave the field with proud erections as the crowd screams triumphantly, apart from those who don't, and darts are being thrown at people's heads. Apparently somebody won, at least until next week when they will have another match and might win or might not forever ad infinitum. We're joined in the studio now by a gentleman who claims to be the manager of one of the teams. Wasn't that a great game?
Well, Dickie, the lads have been looking forward to this all week and they didn't let us down. They kicked the ball up and down, sometimes from side to side a bit, had some impressive gobs of sputum, scratched their balls in front of the kids and basically gave 110%. But as you know, it was a case of if they won, they won. If they lost, they lost. And as it was, they lost. And now somebody wearing the opposing side's scarf is going to have to die behind the train station.
And another thing, your fucking bread rolls are stale, you fat northern wanker.
We call them barm cakes in Bolton. You get now prepared for the impact of my steel toe cap clogging your buttocks.
Welcome back to Blankety Blank. When you join us at a very loquacious juncture, the mother-in-law staring jam at her nipples. So the question was, how a Sheila is so common she can fit an entire fridge in her blank. Let's see what our celebrities said. Ian Cranky, the man who taught Jimmy Savile everything he ever needed to know about sleeping with schoolboys. Wife swapping Ian, and God knows if that horrible little midget was my wife, I'd swap her for German measles. Our Sheila, Ian, is so common she can fit an entire fridge in her blank.
I'm just guessing here, lads, but I've put cut.
Shiver your timbers and splice your main races, bargain hunters. This week we've gone all nautical at Fleetwood in Lancashire, so scrape off those barnacles and stand by for some rum old puns that'll leave you groggy, courtesy of the talentless twat who scripts this shit. Yes, it's another 30 seconds of cheap television stretched into half an hour of shipshape, hoist the mainsail, boring fluff. As first we tell the viewers what's coming up for no particular reason, then we buy and discuss 3 pieces of dull antiquity in an obviously staged car boot sale barter, then we remind the viewers what we bought 20 seconds before, then remind them again by showing said items to the auctioneer, then remind the viewers again as said items go into the auction, then remind them again after said items have been sold, and throughout it all there'll be several manky-tooth celebrity antiques dealers who are friends with the BBC governing body, with all the charm and wit of leaking buboes, trying to make a cut-glass ashtray from the 1950s and a trike of ours so the producers attempting to increase in value look exciting.
How dare you criticise my beef burgers when your overpriced stick and restaurant buys and shit from Tesco's?
Fuck me, your breath stinks. And I'm not talking about the fat bastard from Bolton. I'm talking about you, Wallacott. You want to see a fucking doctor, mate.
Welcome to the Sky at Night. I know what you're thinking. Patrick Moore's dead, isn't he? Well, yes, I have. But owing to the enormous density of my corpse, I've created a singularity in the fabric of space-time from which my soul cannot escape. Personally, I blame it on the crowds. You just can't trust the evil bastards. Now, tonight, I'll be suffering some more of John Coolshaw's painfully unfunny sketches that look nothing like me, and I'll be talking to Professor Higson Plank from the Blackpool Technical College, who's been studying an exciting new forest of vegetation growing on the moon. Professor Plank, what's all this about then?
Well, Patrick, I have to come clean and admit we made a mistake. During our observations, your chin got too close to the lens, and what we believed to be lush flora in the Sea of Tranquility turned out to be the tuft on the end of your wart.
Get your fucking boot off me neck. I can't breathe.
Then take back what you said about me potato cakes, you wrinkled poof. Fuck, I've killed him.
Digital television, enhancing the viewer's choice by now offering them 50-odd channels of shit instead of 5. Not to worry, Polly, me old bowls of toad's knot, we've reached our destination, the pearly gates. Now bring the twatter into land. This is where the episode is going to get exciting.
You have been listening to the Lawrence Pendlebury Adventures Episode 4, an audio drama that only finds itself in the Laura Pendlebury canon because of the author's contractual obligations with Clockwork Coconut Productions. It starred Carrie Black as Justin Bieber, Terry Sedgwick as Colin Firth, and Brian Hughes as Godfrey from Dad's Army. Now bugger off and find something better to listen to.
Fuck, I killed Gordon Ramsay. I'm gonna get lynched.
Nah, mate, you deserve a medal.
Clockwork Coconut Productions would like to apologise for the previous episode. Not for anything in particular, just the whole fucking lot.